Hey guys, welcome in to my channel. I am Christy Kimiko Sullivan, and I am back with the rest of my storyline, or another clip of it. I'm so sorry, it's like taking me a minute to get to this. I went to Dallas, like spontaneous trip, went to the Breakaway Festival, and it was so much fun. You guys, it was so much fun. Like, music is everything, and when you're in it and that vibe is right, and I'd never been to Dallas before, so it was a lot of fun, definitely. I think definitely Nashville would be like my next like trip for that whole vibe, but the festival was great and I got to see friends. I did put a clip actually on my channel as well, so if you guys wanted to see that. So let's jump right in and let's clear this space first. So let me do a little bit of smudge spray for y'all. I hope everyone's been doing well. It's been so nice out. I feel like it's, it's getting lighter each night, and I love that. It's getting into like the summer vibes. And some prosperity spray, bring in that abundance. And if you guys have any hearing sensitivity or hearing aids, I'm gonna ring a bell in 3, 2, 1. Just clear the energy, you guys. Okay, and you guys, I will be reading this just because it's a bit longer, and just want to get to, directly to the point. But this is going to dive a little bit more into the spiritual warfare of it all, what I encountered, and when you do awaken more, like it kind of dumps on you in ways. I mean, so it can be a little overwhelming. Hopefully this won't be triggering to anyone, but it can possibly like resonate with you guys. So that's why I'm speaking on it, and that's why I'm telling it. So let's go. So, Spirit of Truth, expose what's been hidden, protect this message, cleanse this space, and no weapon formed against me or my collective shall prosper. Amen. So, there are some stories too wild to be fiction, because they're spirit born, channeled from dreams, etched in the bloodlines they tried to erase, and written between the lines of legal documents. This is that story. Okay, and I'm ready to tell it, every divinely guided, spirit protected, and poetically laced detail. I didn't even know what a coven was. The word just dropped out of my mouth, dropped into my spirit, and one day while I was laying next to someone I thought might be my divine counterpart. It wasn't Google, it wasn't a post I saw, it was a download straight from my higher self. So I asked him, is your family in a coven or something? He looked at me like I was crazy, which rightfully so, as did I feel the same. But I felt comfortable enough to speak that. He says, no, what are you even talking about? And that was the beginning of seeing what he couldn't, of hearing what my ancestors had been trying to show me for years. We grew up next to each other. He was the boy from up the block, the one I went to camp with. I even found a photo of us as kids, and it just felt divine. But was he really sent to me or to lure me? Because as I began to awaken, he began to pull away. He'd been through possible abuse. And remember, you guys, we're not confused, we're abused. Like, in all, like what we've been through chaotic traumas from childhood, from adult traumas, from black magic being sent, just from this world that we're just trying to journey through, can be highly abusive, okay? And that's what I want to come first. I'm not directly saying like I know all of it. No. I think all of us have encountered abuse and feeling confused and not being explained things even when we ask questions. So, and that's the unfortunate piece. So, and even when we do ask questions, we don't get all the answers, and we still sit with confusion and feeling like we're an outsider, or we're not doing the right thing, or and it's so unsettling. So I just want to make that clear. So I loved him raw. Like, those are the feelings I still feel now. I showed him my soul. I thought that's what love was. And maybe it was, or maybe he was sent as a trigger. The match to light my fire and burn away the illusions of who I thought I was. His father's girlfriend, I remembered her from childhood. That was a big, like, trigger for me. I knew that person, who I ended up actually sending that photo to my father, who did not respond. I'm not surprised. So the match to light my fire and burn away the illusions of who I thought I was. Okay, and his father's girlfriend, I remembered her from childhood. Either she worked at my dad's daycare, or she was always at those grown-up parties they used to throw. The kind of woman who carries a soft smile but a dark aura. The kind who does magic in secret. The kind who cloaks control and caretaking. This isn't just gossip, this is generational warfare. Because these secret societies, these covens, these cults, and Freemason families, even mine, Freemason families, they don't just whisper behind closed doors. They sign documents, they steal inheritances, they unalive elders, and they harvest from the divine. They place life insurance policies on people they're actively draining. They use businesses for money laundering. Sassy. Don't mind her. Fraudulently moving money through companies, sometimes under other people's names, even their children's. I believe my name was put on one of my dad's companies for that very reason. And if it fails, I'd take the fall, not him. This wasn't just spiritual warfare, this was legal fraud, hidden trust, falsified disabilities, and stolen homes. They labeled me special needs to control my trust fund. They changed legal documents behind my back. The attorney, the judge, even the banker were likely all paid off or part of it. They gaslit me for years until I started finding things they didn't expect I'd look for, like a property in the city still listed under my mother's name even after she passed. Why didn't anyone tell me about it? Because they sold it behind my back and pocketed the money, just like they tried to do with my life. I don't even think my dad is my real father, and honestly, I don't think my birthday is real either. I believe I was switched at birth, honestly, because my energy, my DNA is divine, and someone in that system saw it. A shamanic healer born from the womb of a real priestess, but raised by those who harvest light instead of honor it. My mother always said, I was supposed to have a boy, but you came out a girl. But maybe I wasn't the girl meant to come to her. Maybe I was never meant to be in that family at all. Because I don't look like them, I don't feel like them, and everything in my spirit says this life was manipulated the moment I took my first breath. They watched me not with love, not with protection, but with eyes that tracked, plotted, calculated. Gang stalked. Not by strangers, but by families wearing smiles. By old friends with familiar faces, by masked warlocks in business suits and witches dressed as caretakers. All while I was waking up, all while I was remembering that the people closest to me weren't just toxic, they were strategic. There were contracts on my head in the ethers and in the 3D. Spells cast through silence, bindings done through bloodlines. I was meant to break these soul ties, not live within them. Because they had plans to unalive the elders, take their assets, launder the money through fake businesses and family names. Witchcraft that looks like paperwork, sacrifice that feels like silence, a coven of matriarchs passing down the rituals of control, using life insurance as currency, and love spells as chains. And I saw through it. I saw how they used my name, my energy, my birthright to run their bloodline empire, dirty money tied to dirty contracts, a company with my name on it, but built to collapse and pin it on me. I never signed up for this, but they did. When they filed false papers, sold homes in secret, burned evidence, and tied my soul to a false special needs trust as if I couldn't care for myself. But somehow, no one ever cared, but somehow no one ever cared for me. That's how they do it. They bind the divine ones, siphon their inheritance, drain their energy until we forget. Sorry, guys. And drain their energy until we forget who we are. Until we break, until we disappear, and they cash in. But I didn't disappear. I spoke, and in the spiritual realm, that's law. Because once the Empress awakens, once she remembers, those contracts expire, those curses backfire, and the ones who try to bury her become buried in truth. So, was my divine counterpart a part of it? I still don't know. Maybe he was the decoy. Maybe he was the test. Maybe he was under spell too, which I highly agree with that. I think he absolutely was a decoy, maybe partially understood, but was heavily under spell work by the food he was given. Love spells, absolutely. And remember, you guys, when you do these love spells on people, thinking that they will love you, and yes, it can work at first if someone is not awoken. So most of the world, when you're doing these things, that's going to probably occur. But because we're awakening now, and when you do, or when that love spell wears off, you will fully resent that person for the rest of your life, and that other person will be highly obsessed and in love and like love struck over you like forever, but heartbroken because the person will never love you back like that. So those should just be, it should be illegal. But remember, everyone's doing this shit under the fucking counter, under the table, whatever, behind closed doors, after the sermon is up there, and then, you know, in their home in the night, waking up at 3 a.m. doing this shit. Okay? Well, it's not working any longer, and it will not work. And I know the binds have been broken, love spells have been broken, and I pray every day for this person to awaken. And that's all I was trying to do, was help as I was awakening it as well. This was not any attack that I was trying to bring like up and out. It's like it found me, and then I awoke into it, and hopefully he has as well. Okay, so yeah, and maybe, you know, he was used, drained, manipulated by his own part of his own karmic family. I'm not saying his whole family. Just like I was. At one point, I had to walk away from the one I thought was my divine counterpart, not because I stopped caring, but because the warfare around him started coming directly for me. And it absolutely did. And it's still. Even with this past full moon, I know you guys have tried your hardest to manipulate and do spell work and come together and try and harvest off of my energy, swap destinies with me. It is not happening. Clearly. Like, this is where you have to see, how do I sit here looking how I look, sounding how I sound, speaking these words, fully functioning. And you must look at yourselves. And I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to the cross watchers when I speak on this, most all of this. The ones that tried to siphon from me, from you victims out there, knowingly or unknowingly, if you're being attacked or not, like, simply gossip is evil eye being spun your way, okay? This is why cleansing and clearing energy is so important. And calling judgment on these people by name. And you best believe this is how I even sit here today, because I have the protection, because I wrote to God. Because I never even was ever someone that thought, oh, I was raised Christian. I was like, I was raised in a church, but I always thought God had too many people to care for. So I always prayed to my papa. That was like my best friend growing up. That was my father. Okay? So who I was there for me, and like best friends. So, but when this, right now, we are awakening to, and yes, God is everything. Okay? Your angels, your higher self, you are God. So why would you sit and try and demise yourself? You are the higher power. You are the God. There's not even it's not a real heaven you're going to. It's the third eye. It's the seeing past the illusions. It's perception. So you may see something one way or believe in something that way. That's fine. Like, we all have different perceptions of things, but we cannot be out here trying to siphon, harvest energy off of people, places, things, thinking that we don't have our own pathway through this all. You're doing yourself a disservice. Like, everyone can step into their empress and emperor. Every single person can. So when you want to be lazy or not do the hard work or not learn the lessons, you are demising yourself. You're filling yourself with just destruction, and you will have to come back here to this earth plane, this earth world, that you will have to relearn these lessons, unless you get stuck in purgatory for like all the evil that you want to try and work your way through with, you know, being greedy, taking from people, stealing. Nothing comes from anything that you steal from someone. It will always fail. It will, and remember, we are in divine timing. God will cloak someone until he wants to show who that person truly is. And God will test every single person's heart. Your heart is tested. How is that person going to act in front of that person? And then how is the person getting acted to? How are they going to respond if they get, you know, told that they're like rude or dismissed or like they're not good enough? How is that person going to respond? When your heart is pure and you choose yourself and you choose to maybe see, like, maybe that's not my energy, maybe there's something within them that they're, you know, they got hurt over, because we've all been told lies to. We've all been through trauma. We've all been through traumatic experiences. We've all been neglected. We've all been bruised and battered. Like, there's no one out here that hasn't gone through something. So when we cannot see, and remember, everyone has their own perception of things. We all see things differently. And even that is the beauty. That's how unique each one of us is. No one can take that from you. So when we sit here trying to think that we can steal someone's destiny, it is insane. It's not, it's everyone, it's aligned in the stars. If you were to learn about your birth chart, learn a little bit more about yourself. I have every single zodiac sign in my chart. Most all of you do as well. So when we refuse to truly find out who we are and how powerful we are, you are only doing yourself a disservice. Okay? So we can keep throwing these black magic spells. You are racking up negative karma, and who you're doing it to, if victim or victor, if they know you are or not, that is filling them with abundance. And God is watching all of us. He created this. He can take it away. Okay? So, all right. At one point, I had to walk away from the one I thought was my divine counterpart, not because I stopped caring, but because the warfare around him started coming directly for me. And when God sees that, he doesn't wait. He removes you. It was too heavy, and I wasn't fully aware of where it was coming from, what was going on, and he's not going to let his child, his chosen child, his earth angel, to have that destruction be put on them, okay? And because your protection becomes the priority, and God will always protect you, especially when the mission is bigger than the bond, okay? And we all have different missions here, and some, you know, are greater in ways, and so, but regardless, when you believe in your higher self, for your own higher purpose, knowing you will be protected. Every angle, okay? But here's what I do know. When two divine counterparts meet, the whole system will shake, okay? Because that union carries the codes to break timelines. And they didn't want us to merge. They didn't. And I know this because I know the girlfriend of his father tapped, you know, we all have gifts. she has gifts, his father has gifts, and when you use them for good, you get great abundance, and your life can be plenty. When you use them for bad, and you tap into people's Akashic records, which is against the spiritual laws, you cannot do that, and you see that what their destiny is, and try and steal it, you will get attacked back, and it's seen. Everything is seen, okay? And so yes, they saw how powerful I am, what my destiny is. They know how powerful he is. But when you're being siphoned for your energy and using it for their benefit, it can only last so long. Okay? That's why awakening to these things and self-caring for self and stepping into your divinity and your independence, even if that is just speaking up, asking questions, trying to find out who you are, all the things. And I'm not saying every family out here is a karmic family, okay? I am just speaking on what I know is to be true, but it also comes down to free will and our choices, and that is where, when you are stealing someone's free will, like these families, mine as well, that is against the laws in the spiritual realm. Okay? So, now, and it is all coming together now, because when you awaken, it is seen, it is heard, you write about it, you speak on it, and these are breaking generational curses. This will break the binds, this will break the love spells, and this is why I am doing what I'm doing. Now, there's a ruling in the spirit realm, a judgment passed by divine law. These contracts are breaking. These people will fall unless they come clean, unless they surrender to the truth. Because remember, we can't go out here doing dark magic, unaliving people, which, by the way, these older generational Masons, and I'm not saying all Masons are bad, but the ones that have chosen the path to work with the devil, and stay in their lower south node with their sacral energies, harvesting off of children and earth angels, you will be recognized, and you will have to go to 3D jail, or obviously you've already, and when it's done in the spiritual realm, and there's a whole jail up there, and when they have a whole judges, and they get ruled. So when it happens in the spiritual realm, when you call judgment on things here, and it is now heard by the divine, it has to go through a spiritual processing, just like it would here in the, like, lawfully. And once that is all recognized and reviewed, it trickles down to the 3D and will become very real. And it starts with karma. It starts with towers that are attacking you, that are falling from you. But I'm telling you, the people that have been working with the actual underworld, with these demons, calling on them, bringing them to surface to go attack my home or my space or my vessel or your animals or what have you, sacrificing animals even. You don't have, like, any longer, no protection is for you. And not only is God seeing you and will come down on you, you have your own devils and entities coming after you directly. Okay? So stop blaming the world, and you look inside, look at your mirror, that you do all your fucking mirror magic and coming through these damn portals. You're done. Because you're only going to see the reflection of the fucking devil. Okay? So, because justice is not just a courtroom, it's an energy. Okay? And when God says no more, which he has, even the darkest spells turn to dust in the light. Okay? And with all you reptilians out here, I understand you have till 2030. But guess what? We're blowing the horn, ringing the bells, because your time is up. So prepare to go down to your fucking tunnels again, or you will be sitting in 3D jail. Okay? So with that, let me move on. I'm sorry, you guys. This is very real, and I'm not speaking names. Do I know these people? Absolutely. Okay? And this is just to awaken everyone to where they need to look inside their homes, the rooms they're around, and just see how strong each individual is. We are all here to be able to stand tall, be just as successful, just as creative, just as powerful, but here to be powerful in a healthy, positive, giving back so we can receive in a good manner. Okay? Have morals, have boundaries. Like, without that, you are a follower that can end up going down the wrong path. And by some point, when you go too far, God can't help you. You are then have done deals with the devil, and the devil always comes back to get what you promised him. Okay? And that's people that fall into greed too easily, that are out here out here doing black magic. Nothing goes unnoticed. And let me tell you, who do you think controls also the devil? We can't have the light without the dark. We can't have the dark without the light. You don't think that God and the devil understand each other? The devil knows who not to touch and who to touch. So you messed with the wrong earth angel. And there's many of you out here. We are all divine. And mind you, these people that I'm speaking on have been great people, can be great people, but we also have free will. So when you sit in higher positions, when you take jobs where you're supposed to maybe protect, or when you're just a normal human out here and you're not healing your inner wounds, you're not healing the traumas that the generations before you never healed, so it all carried on and trickled down to you, but you're like, screw that, I just want to hate the world and make everyone my platform to blame. Well, guess what? It doesn't work like that. We all have to heal. We all have to go through these journeys. We can't just hop on the backs of others. We can't steal destinies. It just doesn't work like that. This is why we're here, to learn our lessons. And this is why we keep coming back. Because I've had 11 lives. Like, I know I've been a witch in one life. I know I've been like a freaking priest in one life. Different lives. We've all lived different ones. And so those are things you even have to break. They're contracts. Okay? But when you awaken and you understand, you can start healing, doing mantras, frequencies, listening to frequencies, you just diving into your inner, uncomfortable sometimes, traumas, experiences, and walking away from even family members or friends or work environments that aren't choosing to treat you properly. But if you don't stand up for yourself and break those ties, or at least stand up for yourself and say, I don't live for you, I live for me, then you're going to be stagnated and have to relive this whole earth plane that is, you guys, this is not the abundance. This is the most dense, materialistic, surface level realm to be on. But we raise our hands and we say, I'll go down there and do this. Okay? I almost I was told I almost didn't want to come down here because this was going to be so hard. So I may look the way I look and things, and people may think that I'm some goody or I'm all put together. No, bro. I've had the eating disorder. I've had the shitty ass relationships and always gotten cheated on and bullshit. It's called, every time I learned that lesson and said no to those things. I'm not going to harden my heart for the fact that others don't want to caretake for their own. Okay? I know I can be, this is aggressive. Like, this can come off as aggressive. Some will perceive it as that, or it's just because this needs to be heard. And it's by no means anything wrong with being strong in your words, okay? That is something that I think all of us, female, male, need to learn. We can have strength in our words. Okay? Okay. And I had to learn that too. It's, you can't be a people pleaser. You just can't. But you can be kind and say it very kindly, and some people don't want to hear it. Some people just want to stay in their low vibrational self, and that's okay. Maybe this isn't your time around in this realm, but you don't have to put up with that. Everyone has their own. You can step away, and that's your free will as well. Okay, just know that. So yes, this is me telling the world my story, and this is probably the most forward and straightforward way I can put it. Can it not align more when I just said that? If any part of this resonates with you, know I'm here, whether you need answers, support, or just someone to hold space. I'll do my best to help you and or bring comfort. Maybe this message is even more for the cross-watchers who've been waiting to hear what I had to say. So, and mind you, I'm not on anyone's timeline or time frame, because I know you're out there like, oh, she's not gonna make it or some shit. Yo, I work with the divine. When he tells me to rise and speak, that's when I will. Okay? It all has to align. Everything's in divine timing. There's shifts that happen. There's activations that happen. I have gone now through 2 more major activations. So when it's out here, it's out here. And remember, you guys, we don't live for anyone else's timeline. We live for our own. Okay? So don't ever let people pressure you or make you feel that energy that's being pushed on you. Half the time, it's not yours. So release it, accept it, and say, thank you, that's not mine. I release. I'm good. Someone to be. Amen. Right? Okay. The ones who played in my face, who thought it was funny, who used my pain for clout, hoping it would somehow clear their own insecurities or make them feel more powerful in front of their karmic circles. I never sat that vulnerable with anyone before, especially someone who was just the boy down the street. But knowingly or unknowingly, I ended up tied into far more spiritual warfare than I could have imagined. And I had to sit with that. Heal through it, protect myself constantly. Still, I believe that connection and even the darkness around it pushed me into my full power. I truly only ever wanted to help him, not hurt him, ever. Because no, I was never doing black magic. I was never putting love spells on anyone. I know the outcome to that. I would never touch that. We met for a reason, though. Whether it was real love or a karmic mirror or a test, I know it was bigger than just us. Because I know he's been a victim too since childhood, as have I, just like me, just like a lot of us. I am not just signaling out him and I, but we've all been through it, okay? But I feel we were chosen and we were meant to fight this together. At that time, I was placed in his world and I know that now, I was placed in his world to actually awaken him, and this was going to be something that we'd work through together, but because he was a bit stubborn, you are. And just the manipulation that was around him, down to the food he possibly was eating, and the spell work that he was under, it kept him stuck. I will tell you that. And when you are kept stuck under that is the world that you think. I did look crazy. I looked crazy to him. I looked crazy to myself. Like, I have never felt an urge to protect or do that in my life, and I'm not someone that speaks on things that I don't know. So that was a very vulnerable state for me, but that's also how I knew that it meant something and it needed to be spoken. And he was going to wake on his own time, and I still pray for him every day, because no one should have to get their free will taken from them. That it's very, very, it's disheartening. It's really disheartening. And I think a lot of us unknowingly have had that happen to us in all different aspects. It doesn't have to be just black magic. But remember, black magic can come down to literally someone like speaking ill will on your name, or say gossiping, like that's the evil eye being sent. It's simply that. It could be that, you know, or not paying you the promotion that you should be receiving, but overworking you. Like that alone, that's someone being kept. That's keeping you in a low vibe when, you know, or trying to tell you or lie to you because someone's jealous of like who you have or in a relationship, or like straight up just lying. Like lying alone is just as bad, right? For our own selfish need, and that's sickening. Or like saying that someone's pregnant and like trying to say that's your child, like and that's, you don't even know who the father is. Like, don't do that. And someone did do, and I know someone has done that, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not your baby. Just letting you know. Okay. So did I say, yeah, protect constantly? So because no, I was never doing, okay. But yeah, his stubbornness. So he was surrounded by people who didn't have his best interests at heart, I feel. One of them may have even been his handler from a younger age, as who I remember from my younger age. So, and I pray that by now he's awakened, because I never meant to harm him. I truly forgive him for everything, because, you know, being the friendship that we had, and his stubbornness and like the bickering that occurred, but that was just simply natural, like, you know. And I did come across looking crazy, I'm sure, but I forgive him, and I would hope he would forgive me. So while I was going through my own karmic destruction in my own family, remember the disabled trust, I was a disabled person in all of this, I still tried to save him, because when God chooses you, you don't get an easy life. You do not. You get tested, you get refinement, you get the task of rising from the fire while everyone watches, misunderstands, or turns away. But this journey is about awakening to your true self. Moving from your south node to your north node, out of the 3D matrix and into your divine purpose. Because if you don't, you will get stuck. Trapped in people-pleasing, addictions, gossip, greed, emotional loops that keep you running in circles, wearing masks, following the crowd, filling your time with distractions, staying in connections you know are draining you, forgetting who you are, and wondering why you feel empty. You guys, this is so important. When we are unfulfilled and filling ourselves with TV, or even addictions, or fast food, bad foods for our body, and it's that instant gratification, but it always feels shitty later, doesn't it? Because or staying in these relationships, no one, that is also free will. You do not have to stay in a bad relationship. Family, love relationship, work relationship, that is where take a hold of that free will and do what your gut is telling you. And we are in an era right now of soulfully, our soul is moving us in the direction to awaken. And I'm telling you, when you don't step out of what you need to step out of, God will give you towers like a mother. And you'll be like, why the hell is this happening to me? What did I do to the world? And it will come, and it will get you out of things that, mind you, is probably is best for you, because God never steers us. He is not one of confusion. He is one to assert and make the right moves for you if you are not making them for yourself. And sometimes that has to be towers, losing that job, getting in that car accident, or just sitting your butt down, like maybe you break your leg or something, sitting your butt down. So you have to focus on self. You have to sit and think, because when you're so busy and distracted, you don't have time. And that's what people sometimes, the world around you will keep you very, very distracted and busy. So you don't have time to be awoken to these things. Okay. I know, sorry, I go off like beat. I'm not even going off beat, but you know what I mean? We're vibing. I can't with myself sometimes. Okay. But, okay, we are not meant to stay stuck in that cycle. You guys, we are not meant to, we are meant to break it, okay? So no, I'm not here to blame. I'm here to say thank you. I'm really, truly even here to say thank you to all the karmic shit that's been trying to like throw my way, all the black magic, all the people that, you know, knowingly or unknowingly, remember, like, God won't even sometimes awaken. Like, he'll put you in these karmic things sometimes to awaken. So we can't fault them either, you know? I hope you choose to get out of your own way. We all have to get out of our own way sometime. We can't just blame the world, can't blame God. And trust me, I sit here in frustration with him as well. Okay. And then I realize it's like, oh, and then like the next thing happens and I'm like, okay, my bad. Like, I get that. So yeah, so trust your gut, your solar plexus. To come up to everything rises. We are here to awaken our kundalinis. We want to open our third eyes. Our crown chakra needs to be open, and that also will take sometimes sitting with yourself. Say no when you mean no, and in your gut you know you don't want to do something. Say no. Start listening to your soul. Don't let fear stop you. It's just an illusion. Take your power back every day simply with saying, I call back my power from every person, place, thing, or entity or entities that have taken it from me without me saying it's okay to do that. Well, I know, I'm like blanking on the word. But cleanse your space. Stop being last in line in your own life. And that is putting people before you when you know you should be putting yourself first. We have to put ourselves first, or how else can we even help others? If we are drained, like exhausted, and we become angry, we become resentful, and that is not where we should be sitting in this world, okay? So, sorry. This one's a little different from my last video. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know how else to do it. So, yes. Sorry. Okay, because if you don't put yourself first, you'll keep blaming others for your pain, like I just said. So when really when in reality you're just abandoning yourself, okay? So forgive the ones who hurt you, even if they didn't know what they were doing. You know, God says, for they don't know what they do, and you know, a lot of times we don't, and we're in the moment, and we can be aggressive, or we can we speak from trauma. We react from trauma. And then we'll feel guilt, or some out there won't, and you know, but always remember, like, there's no need to attack back, and this is not my way of attacking any of these people back, okay? This is my story. This is the way that I break curses. This is where I break bindings. This is a big part of my lessons, was to speak up, was to have a voice and say my truth. And a lot of us, that is fully part of like your awakening, is to speak your truth, is to speak up, is to align with your higher self and be independent and say no to things you don't want and say yes to things that you do want, and not feel guilty or like feel like you have to caretake for everyone and their mom, because that is just not realistic. Everyone, regardless if they are your elder or your younger sister or brother, we all have to eventually stand in our own divinity, okay? We all have powerful places, people, and things to see and experience. So, like I will say it again, forgive the ones who hurt you, even if they didn't know what they were doing. But more importantly, forgive yourself. Every day, I forgive myself. Like doing this even, like I'm like, oh my gosh, what if like my person like gets mad at me or yelled at me at, like, you know, like for this, and it's I know I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't the right thing. Okay? I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't aligned for me, if God didn't tell me. Okay? So, and I forgive, and I am sorry if this has triggered anyone, or, you know, but please come talk to me. Come talk to me about it. You can yell in my comments, or you can, you know, connect with me and we can speak, or you can fake say you like it and you're probably in some op or something. Like, I'm gonna be nice to you regardless. Like, there's no need for us to ever, like, not just be kind, like, you know. And then if you feel it in your gut, if it's not aligning, then you can bow out slowly, or say thank you but no thank you, all the things. Okay, so every fall is a lesson. Learn the lesson, stand back up, know your worth, keep moving forward. One step at a time, create the life your soul is begging you to live, and it will keep pushing you if you don't step into your true fulfillment of happiness. And that really starts with the healing and the understanding of, like, why do I get triggered? Why do I feel this way? Like, why am I so in angst over that person? Why do I feel envious over that person? Like, we all deserve to stand in the beautiful beings that we are, this vessel that we are. Take care of it, love it. Seriously, you can go anywhere and do everything you want if you are true to yourself and you face your shadow and say, hey, shadow, like, yeah, like, it's hard. It is hard to do that. But when you balance your feminine and masculine and understand, like, it's not a scary place to, like, feel shame and all of that. Like, there's no, you know, and we will feel shame sometimes, but just know we've all been through the trenches some way, somehow, and we're still going through them as grown adults. So we got to take care of ourselves. So yes, one step at a time, create the life your soul is begging you to live. You deserve it. You were made for it. Don't be anyone but your true self, or you'll have to come back to this soul school, this earth school, and do it all over again. Seriously. And that's not what you came here for. Okay. Oh, and I was going to say a little something, but and there's no reason for any of the cross watchers that are here to continue doing any of this black magic any longer, because, honey, it is just going straight back to you. It's literally, like, it doesn't even bounce off of me or my home, or, like, but you gotta stop. You gotta stop. It's not working. It hasn't been working. It was you're just building up more karma for yourself, and it's actually throwing me abundance. And or anyone else you guys are victimizing or doing, it's not doing you service. Okay, it's really not. So let's just really try and understand that, and know, you know, harm to none. Like, seriously, because you're bringing harm to yourself. Okay, I love y'all, and I will end it here. I would love to hear you guys from the comments. I don't even mind if you yell at me. It's to say I'm crazy. It's cool, like, understandably, right? But again, like, I'm just speaking my truth, and I really, if you guys resonate, like, please tell me. I would love to know what you think, what you've been through, and I really hope everyone takes this. I know everyone's going to take in their own perception and all that, but I truly love everyone. And remember, when we feel the need to not understand unconditional love, or don't know how to feel that, that's because maybe that wasn't surrounded by you in your upbringing, or, you know, and that's really unfortunate, and that's sad, but everyone deserves to feel loved and be able to experience love and give love. And that's, you know, in friendships, in all relationships. Okay. And remember, everyone has a soul tribe. Everyone has people that are meant to be in their lives. Seriously. So don't like hold yourself back from loving and truly caring for yourself and for others, because we all deserve it. It's all here for us. And abundance is everywhere. Abundance is not just money, like actual paper money. It's abundance is when you give and receive with care and kindness and respect yourself and stand up for yourself. Boom, you're racking up like that generational wealth, all those things. Okay, so I'm here for you guys. I love you. Thank you. And that just showed that like closing out. Okay, love you guys. Bye.